right, then quick overview how we tackle projects here at Hopmann. So try to cluster it into 4 different phases. The first 2 ones really on data selection and data preparation, then is the actual modeling part, and the last one is then you have the results and have to present them in a way that it's understandable and that people can actually make decisions based on that. Regarding the data selection, I already mentioned it a little bit. So you have your dependent variable, which could be sales, but also conversions, installs, and things like that. And then you have a couple of independent variables. So the classical ones would be your digital media, for example, Google, Meta, TikTok, Pinterest, and so on. Then traditional media could also be the case, like television, radio, print, out of home, all these spendings. Then often you can also think about other owned and organic media that you can input into the model, thinking about SEO activities, how's the Google search going, your organic social media activities, emails, newsletters, all these things that you control still, but you don't really like spend marketing budget per se on that. And then it's like just a bit on clustering that you have an idea what kind of variables you should use or think of. And then last one is like external factors that you can not control, but will have some impact on your sales. Like the classical example is always the weather, like ice cream shop will sell more ice cream when it's hot. But of course, there are like events like Black Friday or the activities of your competitors that you maybe should include into your model. Next step, when you have selected and collected all the relevant data, is data quality. So actually check, do you have enough data? Is it complete? Are there no duplications? Are there not outliers? How about the correlation between different channels? That are all the steps that you have to take to actually make the data ready for the later modeling. And when the data quality is okay, then some kind of data transformations to prep the data that you can feed it into the model. So align and aggregate the data. Maybe you have to do some scaling, normalization, and of course bring all the different data sources together into one format. I have one slide afterwards just to show you quickly how it looks at the end. Then the actual modeling part, one important part is to pick the model. There are a lot of SaaS vendors out there also that offer marketing mix modeling. But as I mentioned, there are quite a few open source tools nowadays. Our favorites, I would say, at the moment are Meridian, which was developed by Google, and PyMC Marketing. So these tools. There's also Robin by Meta, which was one of the first open source models, which is also popular. That one is based on R. These tools are Python packages, and they use a Bayesian approach, which we like quite a lot because you have the possibility to also encode some existing prior knowledge into the model. And it also, at the end, gives you results with some kind of uncertainty, which is also quite nice to be like, how sure can you actually be if this number is correct or not? Once you model the data, you have to do some kind of validation if the model fits. There we separate into 2 different ones. The statistical validation, so actually does the model fit the data? But then, of course, there's even more important, or maybe sometimes also the more difficult part, is the business validation. So does the model actually make sense on a business sense? And if the validation fails in one of these phases, then of course you have to do some refinements. So here are the 2 errors. So that's really an iterative approach. You change some of the settings. You maybe combine channels. You maybe remove some context variables. Maybe you have to add some new variables. Refine your assumptions, rerun the model, and check again until you are at a step where you think where you can trust the model and where you're at the point where you want to present them maybe to the stakeholders or to the management. Classical results that you get is like the channel contribution, so that the model tells you 10% of your sales is because of your marketing activities on Facebook, and 5% maybe because of TikTok. You get, if the model can pick it up, some kind of adstock and saturation curve. So saturation, if it makes sense, to spend even more in this channel, or if the channel is already saturated. Adstock means some kind of add memory. I will also mention it in the next slide, so I don't want to